Straight ahead on OC News, we are well into fall, yet the summertime heat continues, with blistering heat on the campus of Cal State Fullerton.
And two CSUF alums will be playing in the World Series against each other.
And put down that plastic drinking straw. You just might be helping a dolphin or sea lion. These stories and much more. OC News starts right now.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us at OC News tonight. I'm Cassidy Jo Fortin.
And I'm Roxana Ramos. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
It's a hot day in SoCal with triple-digit temperatures. Reporter John Antonio is live with reactions on the record-breaking heat wave.
Guys, it's hot out here today. Cal State Fullerton had mixed reactions. While some enjoy the heat, others have had enough, and they just can't wait for the winter weather.
Definitely not. I thought the heat would be gone by now. I thought it'd be much colder because I'm kind of waiting for to bring out my jackets and stuff, and So
I love the heat. It reminds you of summer, good times. I'm sweating, but that little sun glow, and it's just nice.
No, I don't like the heat, but at least it's not I'm from Missouri, so it gets humid here. It's not as humid here.
I'm thinking of just going in my house, dipping my face in cold water, probably through my sink or something.
Now, in Orange County, after-school athletics canceled or moved its practices to the evening. The Anaheim Union School District canceled its practices, while Yorba Linda and Santa Ana Valley moved its practices to the evening once the excessive heat warning was issued today by the National Weather Service. Now, that's sending it back to you guys. This is John Antonio.
Thanks, John. The current temperature is a blazing 102 degrees today. It will remain in the low 80s and high 70s throughout the night. For the 5-day forecast, the excessive heat warning is expected to still be in effect until tomorrow at 8 p.m. Tomorrow's weather will be very similar to today's. It will remain in the triple digits until Thursday and stay in the high 80s for the remainder of the week.
A small brush fire started Monday morning along Hawthorne Boulevard near Rancho Palos Verdes City Hall. The fire started when the spark fell on dry vegetation, said Public Works Director Elias Sassoon. The flames were stopped roughly 30 feet from homes in the fire danger area. Also, in wake of the Canyon Fire 2, Orange County Supervisor Sean Nelson is asking colleagues for an independent investigation about possible errors made by the Orange County Fire Authority in response to the Canyon Fire 2. Nelson said, quote, "We have a right to answers, and right now, I don't know who to believe," end quote. Questions Nelson has are, did the Orange County Fire Authority respond correctly when it first was told of a possible fire in the canyon? And why do public accounts about the time of the blaze differ from the Fire Authority's documents?
The environment is ever-changing. Robert Pike joins us in the studio to bring us the latest update.
Thank you, Roxana. With Sonoma wildfires over at 90% contained, residents are returning home to face a new challenge. Over 7,000 houses, barns, and businesses were destroyed, each containing an untold amount of hazardous materials. Pesticides, propane, batteries, and melted plastic now litter the area and must be removed before residents can rebuild the community. Officials advise homeowners against shoveling through the settled ashes themselves due to toxic materials which contain asbestos to go airborne. With the wet season approaching, rain threatens to cause the debris burns to spill into neighborhoods and creeks, causing runoff to pollute waters and both people and wildlife for years. In other news, divers have begun removing hundreds of old tires, large pieces of plastic, and cars off the Newport Beach coast, where it has sat for nearly 30 years. The trash heap was originally placed at the bottom of the ocean to construct an artificial reef. This makeshift reef was believed to spur the growth of kelp forests and rebuild the habitat damaged by pollution. Instead, scientists have found the tires to contain harmful toxins, and the material is not heavy enough to stay anchored and are scattered across the seafloor. Of the 8 million tons of plastic that flows into the ocean each year, plastic straws are not at the top in regards to the #1 item of marine pollution, but it is one of the most preventable. According to the National Park Service, each day more than 5 million plastic straws are used in the U.S. alone, enough to fill 127 school buses. Plastic straws don't biodegrade and are made of plastic number 5, which are not recycled. I had a chance to participate in Surfrider's Huntington Beach chapter cleanup this weekend and spoke with members about plastic straw pollution. Let's take a look. Most plastic found in the ocean begin their journey inland, usually at a coffee shop just like this. People order single-use plastic, just like these, until they're done using it and discard it. But the real story starts after people have thrown away their plastic and where that ends up. And of these single-use plastics, straws are some of the most troublesome. Small and lightweight, plastic straws often never make it into the recycling bin. Finding their way into the storm drains and into the ocean, these tiny straws are posing big problems.
Plastic straws are a big part of the pollution that we find here on the beaches. You know, with the downtown restaurants and bars, there's, you know, a huge source right there.
Surfrider's Manny Florence says that with such a wide access of availability and little remorse to the damage it does to the environment, plastic straws can be found everywhere.
It's something that's just ingrained in everybody's head to use. And I know out of experience, I will ask for ice water with no straw, and 9 times out of 10 it comes with a straw. You know, it's something that they're just trained to do. They go through it, the motions, and they're putting the straws in there. And so a lot of people aren't even saying no to straws as a conscious decision.
Sessions, along with other restaurants in Huntington Beach, are trying to minimize their plastic pollution by only giving out straws if customers ask for them. By saying no to single-use plastic, you are stopping this straw from calling Huntington Beach home. For OC News, I'm Robert Pike. One way to stop plastic straw pollution is to make a personal commitment to say no to plastic straws. You can also reach out to local restaurants in your town and ask them to change their protocol and only serve straws upon request. Or you can switch over to non-plastic straw options, such as bamboo or paper straws. That concludes our environmental segment. I'm Robert Pike. Back to you at the desk.
After the break, the Titan Walk had a big turnout for their multicultural event.
And who is playing in the World Series? Stay tuned.
What if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Earlier this morning, a motorcycle and a Toyota Sienna collided, leaving the motorcyclist stuck underneath the van. A nearby auto mechanic, Robert Mott, used a jack and a piece of wood to free the rider. The rider was then taken to UCI Medical Center and is currently listed in critical condition.
47 years after serving his country, Army Captain Gary Mike Rose received the Medal of Honor in a ceremony at the White House. Rose served as a medic in the Military Assistance Command Studies and Observations Group, an elite division of the Special Forces. He served in a mission called Operation Tailwind in September 1970. Rose, at the time a sergeant, ran through a gunfire to treat more than 50 soldiers, using one hand to carry men on his back and the other to return fire. Rose was honored for his extraordinary selfless service on Monday by President Trump.
National Domestic Violence Awareness Month is almost over, and events are taking place on campus to inform students about resources and services available to them if they have been affected. Lucas Dermugardician is live with more.
Thanks, ladies. So I'm out here right now at the TSU pavilions because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and CSUF is taking part in the 18th Annual Violence Prevention Conference hosted by the Women's and Adult Reentry Center. The CSUF Women's and Adult Reentry Center is getting ready for the Violence Prevention Conference at the end of the week. Alyssa Avila, a violence prevention educator, is one of many workers and students at the center who are currently helping to set up the event.
So we're preparing for our Violence Prevention Conference. So this is 18th annual. We're talking about the role of culture in power and control. But we're really excited about this conference because it really works to address how issues of violence affect our communities and really gets to a point where all of us can look at what we can do to help prevent these things from happening and making sure that all of us, can be safe together.
Now, the students and the staff in the center were really hard at work today creating the centerpieces for the conference. They're trying to do it with this whole cultural concept in mind on their pamphlets. They're using different colors that are in the pamphlet, like purple, which represents domestic violence awareness, and teal, which represents sexual assault awareness in the centerpieces as well. And the conference program focuses on culture, and it will feature the main event, Dismantling the Global Culture of Violence. It'll also feature a screening of the documentary Breaking Silence, and then it'll be having 4 breakout sessions throughout the rest of the afternoon as well. Like I said, the conference is taking place here in the TSU Pavilions on October 27th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The event is free and open to the public. You can register online by going to the Women's Center's website. Free lunch will be provided, and you can call 657-278-3828 for more information. For OC News, I'm Lucas Demergardician. Back to you ladies at the desk.
This past Tuesday, different cultures came alive on campus as the Titan Walk celebrated Cal State Fullerton's Multicultural Festival.
On October 17th, Association of Intercultural Awareness hosted its annual multicultural event at Cal State Fullerton. Throughout the festival, a total of 22 clubs and organizations representing different cultures paraded the Titan Walk from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tents stood tall, and the aroma of food like Vietnamese spring rolls and lumpia from the Philippine culture filled the air that afternoon. Some club members showed culture pride, waving flags, dressing in their culture's attire, and even performing dances.
Yeah, it's definitely important for students to see the cultures that are alive here on campus, and it really does bring everyone a sense of like awareness and appreciation for the cultures that we have here on campus. And it's really interesting to learn each culture.
Different clubs worked hard to make the festival both fun and educational. Activities and games that different cultures indulge in were provided for attendees. The attendees also got the chance to learn about the history behind the culture-embedded activities. Introducing students to tastes and traditions of different cultures on campus, the event strives to make a positive impact on our university. Reporting for OC News, this is Rachel Vito.
Coming up next, we will take a look as both our local NFL teams played the hero by putting up some zeros over the weekend.
Stay tuned.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of wins for our local teams this week. Stephanie Stevenson is here with sports.
So let's start off with some baseball. The Dodgers are World Series bound. It's been 29 years since the Dodgers had their last chance at a World Series title. The Dodgers closed out the reigning world champion Cubs 4-1 behind Kike Hernandez's 3 home runs in Game 5, including a grand slam in the top of the 3rd inning. The final score was 11-1. Our boys in blue will get their chance to take the World Series title against the Houston Astros as they defeated the Yankees 4-0 on Saturday. Game 1 of the World Series is in Los Angeles tomorrow at 5:09. Former Cal State Fullerton alums will face off against each other in the World Series. Houston Astros pitcher Chris Davinsky and Los Angeles Dodgers third baseman Justin Turner are former Titan baseball players who this year have helped lead their respective teams to the World Series. This is the first time since 2015 that a Cal State Fullerton alum has been featured in the World Series, and they are 5th and 6th Titan baseball players alums to do so. The player on the winning team will be the 3rd Titan alum to win the World Series. Good luck to both of them as they make Cal State Fullerton community proud. Moving on to football, we have a winner. The Los Angeles Chargers defeated the Denver Broncos 21-0 at the StubHub Center yesterday. This win continued the Chargers' winning streak, bringing it to 3 wins after they started the season with an unimpressive 0-4. The scoring started for the Chargers as Travis Benjamin scored a touchdown on a punt return. He ran 65 yards, untouched, propelling them to their first win in their new Los Angeles stadium. They look to continue their winning streak Sunday against the reigning Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. The Rams were also in action this weekend, except they were overseas in London.
to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Here are some of the highlights.
Interception of the season. Here's Todd Gurley bouncing it outside, fights off one man, and he dives for the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. He faced Jamel Cabrera, he takes it himself, touchdown.
Team, if we do our job, none of that matters.
Cooper Kupp got away, he heads for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown Rams.
With this 33-0 victory, the Rams now have a record of 5-2 and sit atop of the NFC West standings. Now, let's turn to some Cal State Fullerton athletics. Over the weekend, reporter John Antonio was on the scene at Titan Stadium for CSUF men's soccer.
Saturday night, Cal State Fullerton versus UC Riverside Highlanders, and fans were fired up for this game. In the first half, Fullerton had plenty of opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net against Riverside, with as many as 3 chances at the shot on goal. However, the first half ended with a score of 0-0. The intensity level of this rivalry game in the second half turned up a bit. Both teams started playing very physical, and players from each side had to be separated on multiple occasions, and captains being warned for their play. UCR scored the first goal of the game, but on the 89th minute and time running out, forward Samuel Goni came up with a clutch goal in the final minute to even the score with UC Riverside at 1-1, sending the game into overtime. Both teams had a chance to score a goal in overtime, but neither of them were able to convert, ending the game in a 1-1 draw. Fullerton earned 1 point in conference play Saturday night at Titan Stadium. Goni thought the team could have performed better, but teammate Nicolo Diamato gave praise to Goni for his performance.
I think we're better than them, and we didn't show it today. At least we get a point out of the game, but it was fun.
Samuel is on a hot streak right now, and he's doing well for us, and we need to, he keeps showing up for us, so we need to keep playing well and giving him the ball, and just have him just keep doing what he's doing.
Coach George Kuntz believes the opportunities were there for Fullerton, and they are ready for all upcoming challenges.
We like to do things the hard way, I think. So, yeah, bring it. It's good. It's good. We just got to keep playing.
This is John Antonio reporting for OC News.
That's all I have for sports this week. I'm Stephanie Stevenson. Back to you at the desk.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us on OC News.
You can be a part of the conversation by following us on our social medias at OC News CSUF. I'm Cassidy Jo Fortin.
And I'm Roxana Ramos. See you again next week.